look, testing out Thorfinn to see if he's really battle tested, not a bad theory and not bad practice. But I they'd have been yelling out, Snake! Snake! Hitting that reset button on your console. What's up? It's your boy Cintron coming back at you with another reaction/analysis video. And man, Vinland Saga. This episode, the best yet this season. And we just start peeling the layers back on these characters. Namely, Thorfinn, who is tortured. And yeah, man, it just goes deep with him and Einar. You see what is finally going to formulate into a bond there. But let's go through the episode bit by bit. We start off with them still in the camp and him getting his wounds tended to, and dude's just kind of sussing out because he didn't flinch when taking any of those injuries. You're like, all right, now, come on now. You're getting cut by a sword, that searing pain. I know that shit burned, but he's so battle hardened and he's been through all that. He just doesn't even move an inch, quite literally, or even flinch. Like somebody might try to punch you in the face like that, you flinch because you just natural reaction. I mean, nothing wrong with that. It might be but he didn't even move when actual pain was inflicted on him, and then he gets his ear cut off. He gets lobed. I'm like, you let some dude permanently disfigure you. Oh boy, you would have been seeing more than stars, Fox. Like, I would have dismantled, destroyed that man, disemboweled him, and it's just what you deserve. But boy, we saw a glimpse of the old monster that's locked within. Them niggas should be thanking they lucky stars. He saw visions of Ash Kalad. He acted off of pure hatred. Pure, unadulterated. 100% haterade. Caught old boy Snake off guard. Man, he might have skinned that nigga too. He was like, oh, shit. This dude's got some spice, some juice. Jumped back and he activated a part of Thorfinn that had been sleeper agent for a long time. And you're like, man, damn. This battle might be, looking good, but that was just the tip of the iceberg. Him bringing out the battle instincts, and all the men were shook like, oh, yeah. This whole time, this kid, this boy could have fucked you up royally, and he out here showing mercy on you niggas. You better be thankful. Pray to this like he an actual Norse god for sparing your pathetic puss-ass lives. Boy, even Thorfinn was caught off guard. He's asking himself, does he really want to live? He's searching for reasons. Like, the man has just lost it. He's battle weary. The fumes of revenge that were still smoldering and burning within him have all but ground to a halt. Nothing but ash. Nothing but ash left there. He's sauntering through life with just like a zombie. Aimless. And just satisfied with just living on, just blindly walking without any rhyme or reason. I mean, he just had the soul sucked out of him. Like, he's had a top-notch stripper do him up, champagne room. But yeah, he doesn't have one good reason to live. He told you, boy, there's nothing good and that has come from me living. What's even been the point? We'll get to that a little bit later, but I mean, that just tells you how Memphis bleak, go back to the 90s there, his outlook on life is. He ain't got no lease on it. He's shackled and dead. But we all know why Thorfinn is resigned to the rule of this world. The strong rule over the weak. He's experienced. He's been through the highs and lows. He's been through, feeling battle lust and rage and anger to the, worst of the worst. But he's hurt people, killed people, inflicted pain on people that didn't deserve it. and he had to question this path of vengeance that he's on. Like, you can't be a good man and walk that path. And it just fractured him. It just destroyed him. His soul is hanging in the balance. The soul of Gotham. You would call it. Joker's got a tight grip on that shit. But Einar just can't accept that. But that's coming from a weak man's perspective, albeit non-jaded, since Thorfinn has been through a lot. He has been through a lot now. Lost his father, but you don't get the reason behind that. Why later? But yeah, he's been through all that stuff, but it's always been from a point of fight back. Him being the cameraman, like that perspective. He's never abused anybody. He's never beat on anybody. He's always, from the outside looking in, and from his vantage point, been justified. Like he doesn't deserve these travesties and these tragedies visited upon him. But he's never been in gray territory, shaky territory. Like Thorfinn had to toe that line. He had to cross it. He had to swim into uncharted territory and swim across the line and back himself back and lose a couple points, get disqualified. Like he's been through everything imaginable, barring a couple scenarios, but he's seen it all as a warrior that he labels himself as. But Einar, he can't understand that perspective until he's put in that position to where he's got power over people. Thorfinn has had power, even though it's been a modicum of power. It hasn't been like absolute. Even Askeladd didn't have absolute power, but he had a good amount of it, and he had power over Thorfinn. Controlling him, manipulating him, because he knew he wanted to battle him, but he kept him going on. He was the sole reason that Thorfinn was fighting to fight this dude to get his vengeance. And then once he sacrificed himself for him, that just flipped his world upside down. He was just lost, quite literally. How could this dude do that? How did it? Now that affects the way he sees him. And I mean, I gotta go back and watch season 1 because that closing was. But the way they talk and interact, you can tell he's gonna be a sort of spokesperson, representative for Thorfinn, because he just has the dude's best interest at heart. He fights for him when Thorfinn doesn't even fight for himself. He believes in the dude. He's just a just guy. Like, he's the guy that you want by your side fighting with you because he has a sense of morality, a sense of up from down. He's not jaded. He sees things through, sort of pure lens. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And he's kind. And he hasn't been, like I said, destroyed by the world quite yet. And you need people that are gonna, keep you, gonna be able to be your North Star, bring you back from the abyss, bring you back from the darkness, bring you back from the threshold. And he'll be able to be that for Thorfinn later in the future. But it's just, he's not afraid to speak his mind as well. He's an earnest person. So, I mean, Einar, you feel for him because what he's been through, didn't deserve any of that, man, happening. Lost his whole family. He was a 4-pack, now he's a 1-pack. The ops just sitting there smoking him like nothing. But, watching that interaction, after he found out that Thorfinn is a warrior, he's like, I didn't kill people. I, was on the battlefields as a Vinlander from Finland, representing them in fighting against the English, and it's just like his fucking blood is boiling. He's so pissed. He's angry, and rightfully so. I mean, you're looking at the literal embodiment of the warrior spirit, but the souls, these heathens, these a-holes, these beasts, not even human, monsters that took your family away from you. He may not be them, but he represents them because he was right there. Even though he was on the battlefield as a child, like he says, from 5 or 6, he chose that. But he was out there killing, pillaging, stealing, robbing, and maybe not doing the graping and all that stuff, but he was right there alongside those guys. So who would you vent your frustrations out on? So, man, it just got dark. And then, backtracking a little bit, but Einar, he's asking himself, if this guy is no ordinary cat, clearly he's skilled by the way he handled himself in that battle, why is he a slave? And why is he as broken as he is now? If this cat's so strong, what got to him and beat him to hell down that he's just a shadow of himself, a shadow of a man, one of the Walking Dead, and they ain't even talking about an AMC TV show. But Thorfinn asked him, you know, like, why do you wake me up? That's a good question from Thorfinn, asking him, do you hate me now? I done told you the truth. I done told you who I am. I'm not hiding anything. And man, we get an emphatic answer. Like, your boy he's swole. He's strong. And like I don't know if that was him, and I imagine that was him envisioning him just choking the life out of Thorfinn, just putting his arms, putting his hands around his neck, squeezing the fucking life out of the little shit. Like, cause I mean, he's so mad. He's so mad. Like, this cat, like I said before, the living embodiment of these dudes that did these horrible things to his mother, his sister. We're gonna do more than that in front of him. And his father robbed him of his life, his land, his place in the world. Like, you've had so much taken from you that, like, I you know, I'm not even feeling no type of ways about it. I'm like, you know, you deserve to kill Thorfinn in this moment. Like, if you know, succumb to that rage. But you can see even how kind he is. He tries to understand him. Because it's because he knew him before. If he just found it out just meeting him, and they didn't have any history, but yeah, he's probably going through with it. But he rationalized it that I know you, so I can't even do that. And I don't know if he actually did it, like he actually put hands on him, laid hands on him, like he ain't a Christian. But he contemplates it. Yeah, and it wouldn't be strange for him to want to do that to him, you know. But he's overflowing. The hatred is strong within you. You might be a Sith, bitch. You know what I'm saying? But he just represents all that, man, like, for him. And he showed him mercy. He showed Thorfinn mercy. He went as far to contemplate it, strongly, you know, mull it over. But maybe this is why they can go on to become friends, trusted comrades, and even brothers. Because he says, you know, Thorfinn, he remembers vividly Thorfinn saying to him, man, ain't nothing good coming up my life out of me living, man. But he refuses to let Thorfinn take the easy way out and not partake and have some semblance of gratitude for the life he's been given by other people helping him out, regardless of who they were or what they were to him. Like, Ashgalat helped him out all the time, helped him out through his problems and troubles. It was nothing personal, him killing his father, just business and, you know, him getting rid of an enemy that he was ordered to do so. So that the fault doesn't even lie. When Thorfinn does find out who's truly guilty of that crime, of robbing him of his father, oh, there will be blood. There will be fucking hell to pay for them niggas. Oh, they gonna pay up and pay in full, paid in full. And I ain't talking no fucking Cameron. But man, show semblance of gratitude because he envisioned like his family. He was like, they're dead. His mother and his sister. I don't know if that would actually happen. No, I don't think it did. Maybe it did, but no, it did. But I'm convoluting here, overlapping my memories. But they actually did enjoy, you know, a picnic there. He was chit-chatting with them, and then, you know, the Vikings came back, and they, you know, killed them, you know, when he was an adult. He was powerless. He couldn't fight. He didn't know how to fight. fight back. They know how to. But even with the Vikings taking them away and Thorfinn being one of their marauders, he's saying be thankful for the people. Because, you know, he wished they were alive. He wishes that they were alive. They're not. And there's been people that help you along the way. Might have been minor, might have been small. They might have been an enemy, a friend of me, a friend to me. You got, okay, no, I'm doing that. That's Disney Pixar, and that's totally different light pictures. It's darkness. But yeah, like, be grateful for those people that you had. However insignificant or significant they might have been to you. But I thought he was asking him, like, he's like, do you really want to die? Because I'll send you there. I'll send you to the River Styx, personally, myself. I'll stamp your passport. I'll make you an unalived passport bro immediately. But he was going to offer his services to him personally to send him on his way. But he's like telling him, just, hey, stop acting spoiled. And he hit the nail right on the head. But you know he's thinking, because he's like, I wish my family was here. And you over here crying over spilled milk. Like, there's nothing you can do to change what's happened up until now. All I can do is live. Like, that's a gift. Whether you receive it or not, what do you do with it or not, that's up to you. But Thorfinn's been spoiled from the beginning. It's what got his father killed. You know, he wanted to go off to war. He wanted to be a great warrior. He wanted to learn about and know fully in and out the man that his father was before he settled down in a peaceful place. He chose that life. He was about that life. I mean, early on. But he chose it. And he still chooses it because he's staying away from his family now. His mother and sister are very likely alive. But he's staying away from them. He doesn't want anything to do with them. And he's choosing to do that. He chose to turn away your boy, who's his father's good friend, to seek. He chose to be Sasuke. He chose to be an adventurer. I was using sharing and to murder all those that oppose my family. Like, I get it, bro. I get it. But at what point does that run out? You seeking a life away from that. You want to have a family. I mean, I don't know if he wants to have a family, but that hatred ain't good for you. That's why his father let it go. Because he knew it wasn't good. That's why he, faked his death and got out. Because it wasn't good for him to live like that. But he did say one thing that scared the shit out of me. He said, thank you, Einar. For now I am awake. And I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. And that's the bridge to Einar. He's thankful for him. That he woke him up out of his slumber. That he would, he forgave him. And that helped to heal his heart in some ways. But all these nightmares, he wakes him up out of sleep every time. He's like, why do you do that, Einar? Being haunted means you have a fucking conscience. Even if you try to ignore it, Thorfinn, you have a conscience. It is what it is. Live with it. So, man, I'm gonna get up out of here. Can't wait to see more of Return to Darkness, The Path of Blood. Next episode 5. So we'll get into it. But man, this is the best animated season. I've been saying this every episode. But clearly, you're not even watching though. In a saga of V's, where we're trying to stack V's on V's and make dubs.
Like, comment, share, subscribe if you
Thanks for watching. Check me out at Cintron Anime, Cintron Life, or Cintron Laughs, or other social media.